Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you, I ain't going to tell you, I'm going to show you why Jesus, the teachings of Jesus, were spoken in parables. Now, I'm not going to give my opinion at all. This is not an opinion. This is facts. Now, I'm fixing to give it to you raw, straight and uncut. Alright, in this Bible, you got Acts chapter 14, verse 11. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia. Now, if you will research this word right here, that word right there is lichen. Lichen, white werewolf, or werewolf with white hair. Now that's exactly what that word means in Greek. Now it might take you to a Hebrew meaning, but it's going to break it on down to you, because this is a white-haired lichen, okay? But anyway, these werewolf people, well, I think this is really a constellation, the lichen constellation, or either the Lynx constellation, okay? It says, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. The gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. Again, the gods. Now it talks all in the Old Testament about the gods that come down were the fallen. Those are the ones that come down, and they ain't but one that tried to help them, and that was Enoch. Enoch tried to come help them. He was the only one. He was the only one that come down. All right, so check this out. And they called Barnabas Jupiter. All right, Jupiter. And Paul Mercurius. Mercury. Now we have two planets that are gods. And they point them out right here because they had thought Barnabas, which give Paul his sight, was a god. Was a god incarnated into a man. Okay? So they thought Paul was Mercury. Why? Because of Paul's testimony of communication. The way he communicated. His change. His philosophy. His philosophy. The way he communicated to people. His philosophy. Okay? Speech, communication is a philosophy. And he's explaining the way of the gods in a way for people to understand. But we as this kind of human, instead of this kind of human, this kind of human has got it a little twisted, okay? They think the gods are a man. But no, it's found in this. The living water. Christ, the living water. Now, this right here, Mercury, let me show you something. Mercury is the god of financial gain, commerce, eloquence, messages, communication, travelers, boundaries, luck, trickery, and thieves. So this is your discernment. Trickery. Because let me tell you something. If something ain't meant for you, Mercury is going to retrograde. It's going to retrograde, and that means it's going to go backwards and make you rethink everything from the past. And Mercury is retrograde right now. Some of you might have some past issues coming up that you thought's already been dealt with, and they started to resurface again. So it's a healing process, and once you get past all the healing, where you do not go back to past issues, you can put it in a way to communicate to others in a certain type of message of philosophy. Parables is a way to put the awakening in a philosophy. Philosophize your awakening, I guess you'd call it. Awakening. Put your healing in a way to understand, for people to understand exactly like I do. Now, throughout history, these people right here, Paul, Thoth, and Hermes, have been translators and interpreters of the awakening. In a philosophy for translators and interpreters. Now, if you do your research on this right here, translators and interpreters, you're going to find Paul, Thoth, and Hermes. And every one of Paul's teachings was an awakening. Because he crucified, he was killing the Christians. And Thoth, he ruled Egypt for 14,000 years. And Hermes, well, there's a teaching after him called Hermetics. And that's exactly what I teach, Hermetics. And all this is a way to translate and interpret the awakening. The spiritual awakening. And what is the spiritual awakening? And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. He just got God's mark in his forehead. He was preserved from the death. He was preserved from death. God marked his people in his forehead, and he saw God face to face, and Moses couldn't. Moses could not see God face to face because Moses was talking about another God. He was talking about another God. Moses could not see God face to face, and Jacob could. Jacob could. Why? Because his pineal gland was open. And Jupiter is the planet called Barnabas in Acts that opens the eye, that gives people their sight to see this guy face to face, exactly the way I do. Thank you guys. Love you.